Next up, David Charles Allen, Village Properties Realtor and host of The Hop. That's Home Ownership Podcast. Hi, David.
Hi, Patti. Welcome to The Hop. This is David Charles Allen, Realtor of Village Properties in Santa Barbara with my good friend and co-host, Patti Teal. How are you doing today, Patti?
I'm doing great, David. Nice weather here. How's it doing in Santa Barbara?
It's beautiful here as well. We'll celebrate by saying it's going to be in the sunny and in the 70s throughout the week. Potential for some really fun wind swell coming up in the next couple of days as well. So have fun out there and start enjoying some vitamin D.
Yeah, good idea. Interestingly, a lot of people don't get enough vitamin D, which seems strange, but I think that so many people are so cautious these days and wear so much sunscreen that they don't get enough.
Yeah, I think that, and then having everyone be locked in their house for the last year. And so it's really made people have a weakened immune system just by not getting out in the sun. So it's a double-edged sword there for sure.
Yes, so get your vitamin D, and the most fun way to do it is by being out in the sunshine.
Yeah, get out in the sunshine, enjoy Mother Nature, and feel connected to it.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Yeah, so how the mortgage rates are performing this week, they're the same as how we had for the last couple weeks. They're still 3.125 for conforming 30-year fixed and 2.875 for non-conforming jumbo.
Yeah, still nice and low. I hope they stay that way for a long time. Any idea about that?
You know, it's always hard to say. I think people were a little worried for a second. We had so much fluctuation between them going up and then them coming down and then going up again. So people thought they were going to come up pretty quickly. But they've stayed relatively low, which has been driving this market. Now, I would say if it does get any higher, if it does increase in the fours or even fives, that's going to be a huge change in how the market reacts to it as well in terms of home prices.
Yeah, a lot of people are fearful that we're going into an inflation. Does that affect the interest rates, David? And if so, how?
You know, I'm not sure. That's not my specialty, and I wouldn't want to say I know for certain. It usually just goes if there is inflation, your money's worth less. So if interest rates are going up while there's inflation, it's a double negative, so to say, because you're going to be paying more and your money's not worth as much. So it's interesting to see how it all plays out.
It will be interesting to see. These are kind of unprecedented times. And of course, all the analysts look to the past to try to predict what's going to happen in the future, but nothing really has happened quite like this. So we're all on uncharted territory, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I mean, we're printing trillions of dollars and to try and get the economy boosted up, and we still have restrictions on businesses and stuff. So it's interesting for sure, and it hasn't really been like this for any time we've known, that's for sure.
No, no. And I've been around quite a while.
Yeah, and then it's going to be interesting to see coming up what happens this next flu season as well, if it continues or if restrictions get put back in place again. And I don't know, it's just going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
That's true. It's definitely interesting just to observe during these times.
Yeah, that's all you can do at this point. Just be aware of what's going on and try and do what's best for you and the people around you that you love.
Right.
Yeah. And then in terms of stats, we've had an interesting week of stats as well. So we had 15 coming soon listings, which is a pretty good amount. 58 new listings, 10 price changes. And the big thing is there's only 39 pendings this last week. So that's a huge increase in new listings to ones that have pended in terms of the supply getting bigger. Usually we've had even amount of pendings to new listings or even more pendings to new listings. So this is the first week where we've had 19 homes plus the 15 coming soon, so to say. So it's almost 34, 35 new homes that have come onto the market that are adding to the supply. So that's probably the biggest number we've seen over the last year or so. And that could be an indicator of maybe things are starting to slow down. You just don't know.
Oh, well, that would be good news for buyers, wouldn't it?
It would. It could be factored in as well that the prices are getting they're increasing so fast that it's taking a lot of buyers out of the market. So people are no longer able to buy a home, at
Mm-hmm.
least in Santa Barbara or any part of the country. And if that's happening, that's going to take a hit on the prices overall as well. So it's definitely interesting to see, and being aware of how the market's moving. Is It's still a really hot market, but if things continue to go along this path, it could really fluctuate quickly.
Yeah, interesting. It will be fun to watch too if Santa Barbara is indicative of the rest of the country, or if it's kind of unique in that regard to having more houses on the market.
Yeah, I think a couple people I've heard talk about it too is that they only see this as like the first wave of people coming in Santa Barbara. They feel like this is only the beginning for Santa Barbara. So for
Hmm.
Santa Barbara in general, it could be an even more influx of people from the cities trying to move here and whatnot. So it could be even, while it might take a turn somewhere else and not become as hot or demanding, Santa Barbara could increase more. But that again relies on a bunch of stuff that we don't know that can happen in the next so many months with everything going on.
Hmm. Interesting times.
Yeah. So how are you? How's everything going in Sedona? Are you moving to Florida?
I am moving to Florida. So, interestingly, my daughter, her home sale did not go through because when they did the inspection, it just needed so many repairs and new piping and this and that. So, she's back in the market looking again. So, I'm seeing some of these things play out firsthand, and I'm not sure. Makes me curious to know if their market is having more houses to choose from as well, or if it's just a Santa Barbara thing. So I'll try to figure that out.
Nice. How did you decide on Florida after all?
Well, my youngest daughter lives there in Naples, and so family's really important, and mostly it's just to be closer to her. Although I do love the ocean, I've heard it gets very hot and humid in Florida in the summertime, so I'm not sure that I'm going to appreciate that too much. And I'm a little freaked out by the thought of alligators. I'm going to be
Yeah.
very careful walking Ollie. I've been reading about alligators getting close to the coming out of the water and really going after dogs. So seriously,
Oh
I am going
wow.
to be very careful about that. They're not in the ocean, but they are in rivers, which are all over the place, and in lakes. I didn't even know that alligators were in lakes. So that's something that I don't look forward to, but maybe I won't even encounter one. Let's hope.
Yeah. All you can do is have no fear and just go along with it.
Hmm.
Just stay
Well,
aware of your surroundings, and that's all you can do.
and maybe not take your dog swimming in the river, but I did take my dog swimming in the
Yeah.
river.
Yeah, don't play fetch in the river or in the
I
lakes,
did
that's for
do that
sure.
in, yeah, in a river here a few days ago. It was really fun. Ollie, as I've mentioned, is kind of a fearful dog, but he just loves me so much that I can pretty much get him to do anything. So I was with my son and he's like, "Oh, he won't go in the water." And I said, "Well, he will if I will." So I went in the water and sure enough, he just bounded in after me. So that was really fun to see.
Oh, that's really cool. I love that. You
Hmm.
know, you just let them know it's not something to be scared of, and they feed off your energy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
he doesn't want to be away from me for a second. So
Yeah, that
wherever
too.
you go, I go, Mom. Yes.
That too. Yeah, my girlfriend's dog, he's a German Shepherd, and usually they don't like water. But if we go to the beach together and I go out surfing, it will try and swim out to me through all the waves. So
Really? Oh,
yeah,
wow, that's really something. I love to watch dogs at the ocean. And that is
yeah.
one
So
thing too. Buddy, my 20-year-old dog, I think he's just waiting for one last walk on the beach because I used to love to take him to the beach in Santa Barbara. And at that time, he was so fast. I was always so afraid he'd catch a bird because we called him Buddy Rocket. Now he can barely walk, but I think he's holding out for that walk on the beach.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, David, this was really interesting and good news for realtors and buyers that there's a little more inventory out there right now.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see if everything can work out the way it's supposed to for some people out there. That's for sure.
Now, did you have a shout out to give today?
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to actually my mom. My mom's home up in Healdsburg. It's a beautiful home. It's going to be hitting the market in the next week or so, and it's just a fantastic home. Rose gardens everywhere. There's so much love and pride put into the home and the construction and the gardens and everything like that. And I feel like someone's going to come along and really appreciate it for their future. So just want to have our listeners give some positive energy and some vibrations out to them, that everything goes smoothly and no problems come up, and it can be a happy process for everyone involved, especially the person that's going to be able to live in there.
Absolutely. And we've had guests on from Healdsburg, and they just adore the area, the vineyards, the countryside, the darling town. If they hear this shout out and they want to know more about this particular house of your mom's, how could they get a hold of you to learn more?
Yeah, you can give me a call at 805-617-9311 or send me an email at david@davidcharlesallen.com.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, Patty. Let's give it a go next week.
Okay, have a great week. Bye bye.
All right, you too.